All right, so in these examples, we are going to convert from one form to the other. So convert the equation to standard form. So remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are integers, and a has to be positive. All right, so in order to do that, we got this first form is in point slope form. All right, so I am going to need to get rid of these parentheses first. So I need to distribute. So I'll get y plus 2 equals negative 4/5 times x. Negative 4/5 times negative 5 over 1. Cross cancel, I would give positive 4. Okay? So next, what I need to do is I need to get my x and my y on one side and my constants, or my plain old numbers, on the other. So in order to do that, I'm going to add 4/5 x to both sides, and I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. All right, and that's going to give me positive 4/5 x plus y equals 2. All right, from here, I'm so close to being in standard form, but I have a fraction. Okay, I have that fraction of 4/5. So I need to multiply this entire function by the least common multiple of all the denominators. Okay, so my denominators are 5, and then y and 2 don't have denominators, so they have a denominator of 1. So that makes my job a little bit easier because I just need to get rid of the denominator. What do I need to multiply everything by in order to get rid of the denominator? I'm going to multiply it by 5. All right, so then I need to distribute this 5 to everything in my equation. So 5 times 4/5, that's just going to give me 4. So I got 4x. 5 times y is going to give me 5y. And then 5 times 2 is going to give me 10. So this equation in standard form, in simplest standard form, is 4x plus 5y equals 10. Okay? What about in part B? Part B, we've got an equation in slope-intercept form. All right? Again, I want to get my x's on one side, my y's on the same side, and then my plain old numbers on the other. So I need to subtract 1/4 x from both sides. So that's going to give me negative 1/4 x plus y equals negative 1/3. All right, again, I got a couple fractions here, so I got to figure out what am I going to multiply this entire function by so that the negative in front of the x goes away and the fractions go away. Okay, so I'm going to need to multiply by negative something. Now, what is the least common multiple of 4 and 3? Okay, what number do both 4 and 3 go into? Well, 3 goes into 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, so on and so forth. 4 goes into 4, 8, 12, 16, so on and so forth. They both go in to 12. So I'm going to multiply this function by negative 12. I have to multiply it by a negative so that my a value, the coefficient on the x, is positive. All right, and I also have to multiply it by negative 12 so that my denominators go away. All right, so I got negative 12 times negative 1/4. So that's going to be 12 divided by 4, so that's going to be 3x. Negative 12 times positive y, which is going to be minus 12y. And then negative 12 times negative 1/3, which is going to be positive 12 divided by 3, which is going to give me 4. Okay, so this is 3x minus 12y equals 4. That is my function in simplest standard form. Get the x's and the y's on one side, and then make sure that your a value is positive and that you don't have any fractions. All right, in example 5, Write the equation of the line in the indicated form that passes through the points 3, -1, and 5, 4. So the first thing we need to do, because the point slope and slope intercept needs our slope. So we need to calculate what our slope is. So we've got x1, y1, and we have x2, y2. All right, so my slope is going to be 4 minus -1 over 5 minus 3. Okay, subtract the y's on top, subtract the x's on the bottom. So 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 minus 3 is 2. So my slope is 5 halves. All right, next up, I need to write both forms of point slope form. All right, so point slope form, if you remember, is y minus y sub 1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. All right, let's plug in what we know using my first point, 3, -1. So we have y minus the y coordinate, which is -1, equals my slope times x minus the x coordinate, which is 3. Minus a negative is plus a positive. So this is going to be y plus 1 equals 5 halves times x minus 3. Here is the first form using the first point. I can also use my second point. Y minus the y coordinate, which is 4, equals my slope, which is 5 halves, times x minus the x coordinate, which is 5. Nothing I need to simplify there. That's already in point slope form. Okay? So next up is converting this into slope intercept form. All right, so I start with point slope, and now I can convert that into slope intercept. I'm going to use this first one, y plus 1 equals 5 halves times x minus 3. So to get this into slope intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, I need to solve for my y value. So I'm going to distribute the 5 halves. So I'll get y plus 1 equals 5 halves x minus 15 over 2. 5 halves times -3 over 1 is -15 over 2. And then all I need to do from this step is subtract 1 from both sides. So I'll get y equals 5 halves x. And then if I subtract 1, -15 over 2 minus 1 over 1, need my like denominator. So it'll be -15 over 2 minus 2 over 2, which is going to be minus 17 halves. Okay, I can check that I made sure that I did this right by using the other point slope form. All right, distribute, so I get y minus 4 equals 5 halves x minus 25 over 2. If I add 4 to this, I'll get y equals 5 halves x minus 17 over 2. It matches, that way I know I did this right. This is my correct slope intercept form. Okay, next up is I'm going to take that that slope intercept form, y equals 5 halves x minus 17 over 2, and I'm going to get it into standard form, which is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are nice numbers, nice integers, and the a value is positive. All right, so first thing, I'm going to subtract 5 halves x from both sides. So that's going to give me -5 halves x plus y equals -17 over 2. Next up, I need to make sure my a value is positive and I don't have any fractions. So I am going to multiply this whole thing by -2. Okay, because that's the least common multiple of all the denominators. All right, and it's going to make my a value positive. So -2 times -5 halves x is going to be 5x. -2 times positive y is -2y. And a negative 2 times negative 17 over 2 is going to be positive 17. So this is my simplest form of standard form. All right. All of these boxes represent the same exact linear function. It's just they're in different forms: point slope, slope intercept, or standard form. Okay. Make sure you do the practice problems and are comfortable converting from one form to the other and using each form, whether you're graphing or doing an application problem. All right. If you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, keep practicing.